Hi everyone, I am Bex or Becky and welcome to Bex Building. This is my first ever video, so hi. I just really like building The Sims and I thought, you know what, why not try my hand at making a little video out of it and seeing what happens. So I went to Oasis Springs and I went to the Solar Flare lounge, which is that one on the bottom left. I don't know if you've ever been to this lounge thing. It's not a vibe. It's the only thing I can say. It's a bit ugly. It just needs a bit of a refresh, really, a bit of a revamp. So I thought I want to keep the structure, which originally I really didn't think I would, but it wasn't until I took everything out that I was like, actually it's quite nice how it's just up there. And I was set on it being a lounge for a while until probably about it was halfway for me. In this video it's in about 5 minutes, which seems very bizarre. But then I thought, actually I'll make it into a restaurant because I don't have that many restaurants in my game and I could do some more really. For a while I was trying to get the blue from the sign incorporated into the building, and quite quickly actually that idea went out the window because it just looked absolutely horrific. There's no other words for it, it just looked stupid. So quickly got rid of that and I decided to look around the neighbourhood and I saw there was like a lot of siding, so a lot of like wood panelling, so I decided to incorporate that into the build and have these little concrete rock stone slab things on the bottom floor holding it up. And I did play around with the wall heights and ultimately decided to have medium on both, I think it was. I was trying to pick out a door for the longest time. I really liked that door that had like the solid handles, just solid wood. But I think it was just a bit too much, so I ended up going with this one from Spa Day, which I ended up really preferring, and I think the wood pretty much perfectly matches with the wallpaper as well, so I really like that door. I did end up cutting about a solid half an hour of me trying to decide on what windows to put out here, so you are welcome if you are watching this, because that was so painful. I ended up just on these really plain like black windows, but I thought they looked really nice, and I wanted them to be floor to ceiling because I really have not looked at this area a lot. I don't go to Oasis Springs at all really, and it's so beautiful. It wasn't until I was building here that I was like, actually this is really pretty. So I wanted to make the most of those views. At one point I think I had the eco lifestyle windows, you know, where they pop out at the corners. I had them on and thought they were really nice, but I preferred these in the end. I think they looked a lot better. I just added a half wall to the top to be my roof, and I ended up putting the platform up to make it all flush as well. I don't think I've done that bit yet. I'm just trying to add an extra column structure support beam thing to the bottom as well, because it did look like that bottom corner would probably be unsafe really. Just didn't look right. And then I just changed my fencing as well on the balcony, because I thought that looked a lot nicer and a lot cleaner. And then this decorative roof edging thing, which is in fences. I've never used this before in my life, but oh my god, it's a game changer, and I didn't even know it was in there. So I loved that. Made me really quite happy, and I whacked that on the roof of the balcony. And then on top of the main structure on them half walls, I just did a half wall trim, just in a black, and I wanted the thick black line that you can see. I thought that tied in the windows quite well, and it made it look a bit more solid. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just looked better. And then I changed that god awful sign to a nice black one, which I thought was really pretty. So we've ended up going for like this black theme, really, a bit black and whitish, to keep it a bit bougie. So then I come in. I think this was probably where I decided we're not going for a lounge, we're going for a restaurant. And I knew, because I started going for these chef stations, I knew I wanted different areas split up a bit, but I was really going to struggle. So I just tried guessing really where I wanted things, and for the most part ended up staying pretty much how I put it now. But yeah, I did do a few tweaks, resizing the kitchen and things like that. And then I think I put next to it in that little corner, I put the little bar area, which I really liked. I thought it fit in there really nicely actually. Surprisingly, it was the perfect amount of squares. I did really originally want that curved bar from the Love Struck pack, but it just didn't look right. And then all of the bar backs were just... why are none of them nice? I think the only one that was actually like nice and usable, there was that one from Life and Death, but obviously there's skulls on it and I wanted it to be quite bougie, so I thought the skulls aren't really the vibe. So I went with the Love Struck bar back and then the Life and Death bar itself, because the only skull is on the tap, the pull tap I think, which is fine because that could be a certain beer that we're selling, I don't know, it's fine. And then I wanted you to be able to get to the bar through the chef station rather than it being open on one of the sides, because we all know what Sims are like and they'll just find a way to end up in your bar. In here, I really didn't want to get rid of that stone pillar thing from outside that comes in, but I needed more room for my bathroom, so I chipped into it. But it's fine because on the outside you can't tell. It's only when you go in the bathroom, and at that point you've forgotten, haven't you? So it's fine. I'm just going to keep telling myself it's fine. And then I replaced the fencing as well around the stairs, just to make it all tie in, lit it all up, put some white floors in and some white walls, just to neutralise it all down as well. One of the things that I notice when I build, especially with like refreshers and renovations, is if I don't do this and I can see different flooring on the floor, I will try and stick to those rooms unintentionally. So I just really know that I need a nice clean white base just to start with. This host station was the bane of my existence through this. I think you'll only see me tweak it probably 2 or 3 times in this, but in reality it was about 17 times. I did not know where I wanted it, I didn't know how I wanted it to look. I wanted it to be its own little station, I wanted it to be out of the way but the first thing you see. I wanted it to be, I don't even know what the word is, I just wanted it to be a certain way and I could not get it that way that I wanted. In the end I was really happy with it, but it's still not what I wanted, even though I don't know what it is that I wanted. And I know that makes no sense, but it does to me. And as you can see, I just put the toilets together a little bit. Obviously not finished with them, but I just needed to make sure I knew exactly where they were going, so I didn't lay it down the line and end up forgetting and do something else with that space, because that is a very me thing to do. And then I love those desert looks bar stools so much, I think they're so pretty. And then I just got a load of tables, and those, I think the table was actually the Love Struck tables with the Life and Death chairs, which I really like. Those chairs are probably my favourite in the game. I use them in every single build pretty much now, and it's getting a little bit repetitive, but my god, they are lovely. So I've got a load of 2-seater tables, and then I was just trying to find a nice 6-seater. So from the Life and Death pack, found that white and gold table, which I thought if I put black chairs around it will make it really sort of blend in together. So I ended up with 2 6-seaters, and then I also get 2 4-seaters as well, because I think most of the time when you go into the restaurants you'll end up having 2 people going to the restaurant at any given point. But obviously for gameplay purposes you might have a family of 4 and you might think, I want to take them all to a family restaurant for someone's birthday, or you might want to do that and then bring the grandparents along. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can do. It's The Sims, it's fine. It's not that deep. Tried to figure out the flooring, and when I say that I found that black floor and I was so happy. I don't think I've ever used that black floor either. I was really torn between that floor and the one that I ended up using actually downstairs in the entryway, but in black. I think I used it in white downstairs, but I wanted it in black upstairs. Really torn between them two for ages, but ultimately decided on that one that I got, and I'm really happy about it. I just think it looks really nice and quite quite sad of me to admit, but the reason why I didn't go for the marble floor upstairs was I was thinking about Sims in the heels because I set this place to be formal and I thought I wouldn't want to walk on that floor in my heels. That's a health and safety hazard. I am an old person now. I'm almost 30. That is old to me. And I am always thinking, I don't want to be walking about in my heels. It's too much. So I didn't end up putting it in the restaurant altogether. You'll see I've just finished the bathrooms. Just copied and pasted the same one over 3 times. And then put that nice little mirror there. And then I end up using these little soap dispenser things. I think they're hand sanitizer stations, but I use them as soap dispensers because that's what they'll look like to me. And the little towel dispenser as well. So you can dry your hands. Not that Sims ever do, but we know it's there, so it's fine. I think once I'd done that, I saw this orchid, I think it is an orchid or a lily. And I just really liked it, so I thought I'll whack that out because I will end up losing it if I don't do that now. And I know this sounds silly because I've gone on about how much faff that host station gave me, but ultimately that half wall that I just added in was all that I needed to do. I found this. I don't know what happened to me. My brain just stopped and I was like, half wall, it's fine. But then it left a really blank space which I couldn't figure out what to do with. But then I ended up seeing something in that category of wall sculptures, and I realised, I could do a little coat rack thing. Obviously it's The Sims, so we don't just have coats on here. For some reason, some of our Sims in our restaurant have decided to take off their t-shirts and their trousers, but we can pretend it's coats, okay? I really loved that wall actually. Even now looking back at it, I really like that wall. The concrete blacky grey wall. But I ended up going for this wallpaper instead, the white and black, because I thought it looked a bit more polished, just for the restaurant purposes, that's all. And then I used that concrete inside the bathroom. And I think I used it downstairs as well, because I just really loved it. And then I used these tiled brick things for the kitchen and the bar, because although this is not real life, I was thinking about it and I was like, oh my god, that would be so difficult to clean. So I went for the cleanable tiles. And then I just added some extra counter space in here, which I know is not needed, but it just looked a bit better. I did add in a dishwasher. And then please, oh my god, please someone tell me, do you need a fridge in a restaurant? I know in reality, yeah, you need a fridge in a restaurant, but in The Sims, do you need a fridge in the restaurant? Because I undenied over that for so long and I was like, surely there's no harm if I do put a fridge in there and you don't need one, but there's harm if you do need one and I don't have one. So I end up putting one in there. If you don't need it and it breaks something, then just get rid of it. It's probably that. I don't think there's anything else that would possibly break it, but I don't know. I did also add in as well that little brolly stand, which I thought was really, really cute. I don't know if you've been to any restaurants that have them, but I went to one a little while ago and I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. When you go out in the rain, you can just take a little brolly. It's cute. I love it. It's the little things in life. And then I really didn't know what to do with that end hallway bit. I ended up using those little dividers, and then I got distracted because I saw the woohoo closet and I was like, absolutely, we need a woohoo closet in this space. So I went back upstairs, and then I think I was on and out again. I wanted originally it to be like its own little function room, but it was just too small for that. So I ended up just decorating it quite nicely for the outside area. So we just ended up with some like pots in there, which I ended up later putting some plants in, and then ended up putting some benches out here. I think these are the Love Struck benches, yeah, because they've got like little hearts at the back, which I thought was really cute. And got some little heaters as well. And then I think I ended up doing some bar stools. Yeah, I really didn't know what I was going to do out here. I thought, let's have some sort of outdoor seating. So I got those little ones, and then I realised I want tall bar stools, like as if you're on holiday and you sat on the balcony and you've got a cocktail in your hand and you're at your little bar stool and you're looking at the view and it's all warm. That was the vibe I was going for. If you can't tell, I really want to go on holiday. So yeah, we ended up with those little bar stools, and it really does give me holiday vibes, except for the heaters. They give me British vibes. And then when we go back in, I realised I did not have anything on the tables. In an ideal world, I'd have a candle and a flower on every table, but I also know that this is The Sims and it's very easy to mess up and things won't get placed where they're meant to be placed. So I ended up going for a candle on the 2-seater, just for like the little romance vibes. And then on the big 6-seaters, I got the bigger flowers, and then on the 4-seaters, I got those little Love Struck flowers as well. So we do have a bit of a mixture in there. End up getting rid of all of the lighting and decided to create some moony lighting. So you might have been able to tell from the bathroom, I wanted it to be quite dark. Normally whenever I'm building, I put a million lights in every single room because I like to see what I'm doing. But in reality, with like restaurants, for some reason, I don't know why, but they don't like you to see what you're doing. So with that in mind, I put minimal lighting, and I saw these little drop down pendants and I thought they're so pretty, and they do like the warm light, which is exactly what I wanted. Just a nice warm glow. And then this is where I end up putting the plants in the pots. So you'll see in a minute. It still tickles me every single time I see it. That little tiny plant that I put in, and then it was like just so small. I thought it was one of the big ones, and then when I saw it come out of like the catalogue, I was like, I'm gonna have to put that in a pot. It's just gonna make me happy. So I did. I gave it a little wiggle around, laughed, and then moved on quickly with my life. But yeah, that's just something. If no one's ever shown you that, or if you didn't know you could do that, there's quite a few like empty pots in the game, and you can normally fit a few different plants in them, in their pots, because the pots that the potted plants come in, that's a lot of peats. The pots that the potted plants normally come in can be a bit bland, but then you've got the decorative pots, which you can sort of make your own versions of, really. So that's what I did there. And then just do some lighting, really, and some landscaping. So I thought I want some flowers on either side of the walkway, and I saw these things which were huge but sized down were quite reasonable. So I just got a few things out that I wanted, so I knew I'd need them, and obviously the fountains that I had out, I knew I wanted something fountainy somewhere, I just didn't know what, so I sort of got them out to remind me. And then those little pot of plants I decided to put there, but then I realised, fountain, that's what I've just been talking about. I'll have it go here in this little gap, running along the, what's it called, the path. So I just made myself a little fountain and end up putting these, like, I think they're called skipping stone jets. Really technical. And I just put them all the way down thinking that it'd look really cute. They do look quite cute, but they're not very powerful, so they just look a bit like they're sort of spitting at each other rather than a jet. So yeah, and then I end up using the same concrete wall that I used in the toilets down here, and this is where I get that nice marble floor. So it was the black one that you saw a minute ago that I wanted to use upstairs, but I ended up not. But glad I got it in nonetheless. And then with these planters, I wanted to just put some plants in them, obviously, because they're planters. I don't want to leave them with just mud in them. So I just found some of the plants and just some nice flowers, just sort of dotted them around, filling them out. I originally was just looking at them and I was like, oh, which ones do I like? Do I want these ones, the pink ones, the purple? And the first ones, I was like, they're not as nice, but oh my god, so much easier to put in. Then the pink and the purple, I was like, these are both nice, maybe I'll just alternate them too. But I ended up using all three. I liked all three. I couldn't find a fourth that I was happy with, so I just ended up trying to sort of use those three over 2, 4, 6, 8 planters, which doesn't really equate very well, but it's fine. You will see in a minute the thing that really wound me up when I was doing these. Bonus points if you can guess, because I wanted them all to look different. I didn't want it to be the same. I realise I'm saying this, you should really be seeing what I'm seeing. If not, you do see it in a minute when I correct it, but I just wanted them all to look a little bit different to each other. And then at this point I realised that actually these fit two in quite nicely, just to make it look a bit more full, which I preferred so much. Just looked miles better, so I just went and did that on the other side as well. Just did a little scoochy. Yeah. I'm saying yeah like I'm talking to myself. I've already done this bit. Yeah, I was just finishing off those flowers. Landscaping is not a forte of mine. I struggle with it so bad. As you can probably tell. I had that raised way too high, and then I tried to make a little mini one. It's at this point that it should be glaringly obvious what's wrong, and it's that I had the pinks opposite the pinks, and it just really wasn't meant to be. So they were meant to be different everywhere you looked, because obviously we had 3 by 2, 4, 6. Why can't I count to me? Yeah, we had 3 flowers to 8 planters. Did I say 12 before? Am I losing it? I don't know what I said before, but we had 3 to 8, which doesn't work out right. So I just didn't want any of them to be facing each other. And then I was just trying to do some of the more natural landscaping here as well. So just some like low-lying flowers with some ferns and things like that. Bearing in mind that it is Oasis Springs, so I think I did turn on the base game filter as well, just to make sure that I had flowers from like the local area, really. The local area, like it's somewhere real. But you know what I mean. I don't want to have like lush Salvadoradian plants in the desert. It's just not going to look right. And then I added some palm trees around in those little circular planters, which I thought was really cute. They made me really happy. And then I just added a few more around the back because Sims are weird and they will go everywhere and anywhere. So I added the same from up there, and then I thought, I'll get another different flower as well, rather than just the lavender and I want to say hibiscus, but I feel like it's probably not. And then I ended up going with a woohoo bush. So you've now got 2 places you can woohoo in this location. Because that's what everyone looks for when they are deciding where to eat their tea for their Sims. They think that's got 2 woohoo locations. That's my kind of place. So yeah, there's the woohoo bush and the woohoo closet now. And then I just thought I'd add those little aloe vera plants there as well. Added a bit more lighting outside. I do end up coming back to that because I think I end up getting distracted by the terrain paint. I didn't want to do too much terrain paint because when it's natural you get a lot of weird lumps and bumps and mixed match of different terrain paints, which I really like. So I put it on the biggest brush, on the biggest softness, and just like click, rather than smothering it all in the same bland terrain paint. And then I just used some of the earth from Outdoor Treat, I think it is, just around the wildlife, just so it looks like there's some extra places for it to grow from. And then I just swapped out that big palm tree for a bit of a smaller one. I just thought it looked a little bit better. I think the big one was just overpowering it a bit too much. Then outside, I was actually so proud of myself because I'm so indecisive. That was the second floor tile I tried other than that pebble thing. And I was so happy. And I was like, this is the flooring that I wanted. Done. Sold. That easy. If everything was that easy. But I realised, especially at the back, it needed a little fence lining around it, just because it's obviously got that gravel, and then the gravel going into the sand looked a bit weird. So I just added a little fence, put some nice little lights out here, so it looks a little bit cosy. And it's a similar vibe to upstairs as well. So upstairs had those drop-down pendants, but these have the plants inside as well. And then just to make the outside stand out a bit more, just added these little lights. So I think these are like the art lights, part of Get to Work maybe, or Base Game, not 100% sure, but they're just like a drop down light which highlighted the outside a little bit more. And then I knew I needed something to light up our sign as well at night. I was really indecisive on that, and I'm still not 100% sure on the decision that we made. I'm saying we, like we made this together. You're in this with me now. But I ended up going with these RGB, whatever they are, light strips from high school years. They'll do. I'm just thinking it's like a long strip that's angled down over your sign. There's nothing like that really that I could find. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I would love to change it. But I just knew I needed something to light it up a little bit. And then I just lit up the pathway at the back as well. And then I knew I needed something in this little entryway. So I found these paintings. I think I ended up using Love Struck. A lot of Love Struck in this really. So I used those Love Struck paintings, and I think it's a City Living. That one, yeah. And I used... Oh, sorry, I sneezed. I used that one with all the faces there because I thought it was really cute. I thought it was like all the celebrities that have been to our restaurant, and because I think some of them are signed as well. But I really wanted something filling that blank spot, so I first tried that Love Struck, Didn't really like it there. It wasn't big enough, it wasn't doing it. Tried that light thing, still was not what I wanted. And I was starting to get a bit like, I don't know what I'm going to do if this doesn't work out now, because it just looked wrong. So I was doing all this decoration and carrying on, but I was like, I'm still not happy with it. I end up going in with that, thinking, well, maybe they brought some pictures down, but then I was like, that's not very professional really. If we're saying this is like a super bougie restaurant, that they just leave them on the floor. But then I found these, and they're from dining as well. I was like, oh, meant to be. But I didn't like them just on the floor. They didn't stand out enough. So then I thought, I'll try it on a platform, raise it up so that it's high. Try that. Obviously was not right. I thought maybe it's just because I need to extend it, but it just looked wrong next to the stairs. It was just too much. It wasn't the right fencing on the same. Lo and behold, forgot that we had the 9 key, so I just raised them up. Realised that they were off the wall, so I scooted them back, holding all, and then just alt placed them to exactly where I wanted them to be. Because they have those little things where the lights are under the bottom, they look like they're built in, they look like they've got their own little shelf, so it just worked really, really well. And then I was quite happy with that actually. I'm just adding some little like decorations. I wanted something on this wall, but everything was too much. I don't know what I was thinking with that weird wall thing. Everything was just too much, because I knew I wanted it to be on not concrete, that's stone, but it needed to be subtle. And then I remembered that flower that I got out so long ago would be perfect. So I put that there and I was happy. Then I'm just checking it in all the different lightings just to make sure I actually was happy with it. And I knew there was something I was missing, but I didn't know what it was. It was a rug. So again, just in this space, there just needed to be something different. So I just put a little rug down, and I quite liked that one because there's some subtle like marks in it, and it almost looks like it's been hoovered, which I really like. I do not have Buster Dust. I refuse to buy Buster Dust. But it looks like it's been hoovered. It's definitely not been hoovered. And then I just painted all my ceilings black as well, just to make it look that little bit better and cleaner. It was at this point I realised I still had those saucer lights in this little fire bit, so then I just got some nice little drop down pendants, and I think that's it once I put them in, and then we can go for a little tour. I will pre-warn you before I go on this little tour thing, I'm not good with the tab camera, so as you can see it's a bit jolty. There's parts where I start sprinting but this is the front in the daytime. I think it's like morning light or something like that, and then if we spin around to the back, and then we'll go to the night time and the back again. I really like this, you know, actually. I was so unsure about it, but I really do like it. I think it's so pretty. So if we walk on in, again, apologise for my poor skills with the tab camera. I think at some point we look like we're a child running around the restaurant. I will point it out because it's quite funny actually. But yeah, we'll go sprinting to the door because we're so excited to get in and have some nice food. We're greeted by the nice pictures that we've got and the woohoo closet. It's just a plain small space to come in, and then if I go out the other way, just so you can see that as well, got the nice little flowers that we put out here and the little spitting jets. Yeah, they definitely look like they're spitting. They don't look very powerful at all. Go past our little woohoo bush, and we can see, I think that's Clara. I want to say it's Clara. She's just out front. And unfortunately it was Love Day, my game, so we've ended up with some like decorations on the fences, and it puts decorations on the fence on that roof edge as well, which isn't the best, but it's fine. You're not likely going to see it. And for some reason, everyone is leaving. Don't know what I've done wrong. But yeah, everyone quickly exited as we approached in. But this is it upstairs. So we've got our little host station with the sign behind them, all our celebrities. Sorry about the motorbike outside. And our little closet. We've got that wall that's no longer blank. That is my sim, who is at the bar. What a vibe. Got Caleb being a waiter. Quite an odd restaurant. But yeah, this is where we look like we're a child running around as well. We're really low to the floor for some reason. But nonetheless, let's go look at those views. So this was the whole reason behind these particular windows. It just looks so pretty out here. With the waterfall, all the cliffs, the rocks, and then obviously we've got these two-seater tables dotting each window, which just looks really nice. And then we'll just interrupt these on their little date and just have a look at their view, what they're looking out to. And that is the best view of the restaurant because of the fountain as well over there. It just looks so beautiful. So they're really lucky. They've got the best seats in the house. And that is a jump scare by Caleb. Thank you for that. Sprinting at us. And then if we just quickly go into these toilets. I say quickly, I've already filmed this, it's not that quick, but we've got this double sinks, and then we've got the toilets. Literally a toilet roll and a light. It's not that interesting. We go into the kitchen, see some fancy knife skills, and yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I don't think you need the fridge. They don't seem to be moving from the stations. Oh, maybe they were, I don't know. We'll find out at some point. And then we go to the bar area where my sim is getting wavy, going on a phone, and then we will go out the back. So onto this balcony through the little hallway. I actually really like that hallway with the black and white plants, real nice. And some nice dirty plates for us, greeting us as we come out here. We see the bench and the little chairs and everything like that. Another bench on this side. And then we go back into this view of Caleb jetting about the place. It's The Sims, what can you say? And then that's it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.